Hey there, cats and kittens. It's time for another edition of the Dallas Bias Club. I'm your host, Jordan Amati, and joining me once again, my man in the background doing his thing, Patty G, PG-13, Gallagher. PG-13 because those are the preferred movies he likes. Nothing too scary or violent for this guy.
Nope.
No. But yeah, that's my man, Patrick. Today, he's represented by a dancing Patrick Stewart.
Ooh.
Yeah, you want to see?
Would love to.
There's your boy.
Ooh, he is fancy.
He's fancy and dancing. Well, yeah, that's Patrick Gallagher today. So when I cut to Patrick, you'll be seeing him dressed all fancy and doing his little dance like Sir Patrick Stewart would do on a daily basis. I'm just sure that's how his life is.
More or less.
Yeah, you've seen Blunt Talk at all?
Oh yeah.
Blunt Talk is an amazing show. I need to watch more of it because it's one of those shows that's on Prime to where it's like, here, you can watch the first 2 episodes, and I'm just like, this is how you get my money, huh?
I never will understand how it's like, oh, we have seasons 1 and 4 and part of season 2, but the rest of it's somewhere else.
That's how they get you.
They
want that BritBox subscription, right? Hey, you know what? Taste of London, I think it's part of that BritBox subscription. So
okay,
it might be one of those things. Do the 7-day period, but have it planned on what you're going to binge that week.
Get through
it. This might be a perfect week for that BritBox thing. So start it off. Got 7 days.
I initially got Paramount that way.
Okay,
I was like, oh, I'm gonna on this trial, and I had a list of this is what I'm watching.
It's going down. Yeah, you got to have that itinerary.
Yeah,
because they're trying to get us all. First cutting the cord was the thing to do, and now you want to go back to it, and now we've opened Pandora's box. Well, enough with that. Well, how was your week? How was your weekend, Patrick?
It was all right.
Yeah, I know we see each other on a day-to-day basis, and we usually catch up, but maybe there's people out there that, inquiring minds want to know.
It wasn't a bad little weekend. Definitely looking forward more to this weekend and the week coming up for the holidays, but yeah.
Holla, holidays.
What about you?
Not much, just watching some programs. A couple of good ones started this week. Well, one good one that I've actually had watched recently, Fallout. The new season of Fallout just started the other day.
Okay.
So, with all those I think Welcome to Derry just ended on HBO, and so did Chair Company. So something new to add to the list, but not to overwhelm you before the new calendar year rolls around. But I think here in a week or two, I might have to drop a show with the top shows of the year, give some people some ideas of what to watch this year.
I've been hearing a lot about Pluribus.
Pluribus comes out on Fridays, and I'm anticipating watching it tonight. Unfortunately, I have a friend's birthday party I got to go to. Nah, shout out to Mike Post. Happy birthday, Mike Post.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday, Mike.
It's Mike's birthday tonight, and I think we going bowling. You're
going to show him what's up.
Every time, this is how old I am. My body be acting up whenever somebody just wants to call me to bowl. It used to be like if somebody wants to call me for basketball, then my knee will swell up.
Right.
Now it's like my back will act up. I'm like, somebody's about to ask me to go bowling. And I will still bowl. Please believe that. Please believe that. But before we get into what the week that was in DFW sports, let's talk about last night. Last night was a pretty good night for DFW sports. The Mavericks were able to pull off a great win against the Pistons. Cade Cunningham ruining his homecoming, but they made it interesting because they were up by 18 and had to go to overtime to pull that one out.
Right.
But, without Kyrie, the teams look very impressive, and we'll talk a little bit more Mavs later, but I just want to give a quick shout-out to what Cooper Flagg's doing, and shout-out to Cade Cunningham for putting on a show, but taking an L. That's exactly what we want in DFW from our hometown athletes. Yeah, come home. Have a great game. Take an L. Yeah, all right, bet. But, yeah, also the Stars won a good one against San Jose. San Jose looks like they're on the come-up. What's the kid's name? Celebrini?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like Malachi Celebrini, something like that. But great young Italian-Canadian. Fast, big, physical, young, 19 years old, and definitely looked like the best. Well, if he's not the best player on the ice last night, give him a year. Give him 2. But his future's bright. San Jose's future's bright. But we got that win, and of course the Stars are playing again tonight. It's a quick turnaround at 9:00 against Anaheim. But let's go ahead and talk about. Did you watch last night's football game? I think we got to talk about it, even though it's not local. We do got to shout out Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford looks like the league MVP this year, but that game last night, honestly, started watching other games. I started watching the Mavericks whenever it was 30-14.
Right.
Then the Stars started, and then next thing I know, they're coming back, and I was able to watch JSN score a touchdown. Rockwall, represent, another local kid. So shout out to Matt Stafford, shout out to Jackson Smith and Jigba, a couple of local products doing it at the big level. And looks like Seattle just won the NFC West with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Sam Darnold, too. Back-to-back division champs for two different teams.
I don't even know what to make of that dude.
Hey, man, he's a good quarterback. He's just not great, but he can be great when he has to be.
I was going to say he has flashes of greatness.
Yeah, he has flashes of Eli Manning. Is that what
you're not wrong.
Yeah, he reminds me of top level Eli Manning in the way that he just wins. He'll win a division championship and go to the playoffs in back-to-back years. But shout out to him, just a way to stay with it. And that the 2019 draft class of quarterbacks starting to really shape out into everybody, but Josh Rosen is good.
Right.
Sorry, Josh Rosen, but he's at Wharton. He's at the Wharton School at Penn. So business-wise,
probably doing all right.
As far as like a regular 27, 28-year-old, this guy is doing great.
Right on track.
He's better than us.
Yeah.
He's just not better than these other guys at football. Yeah, but shout to him though. It does, there's more to life than just playing ball. There's life after football.
Maybe he could be their accountant or their business advisor.
He'll figure it out. Yeah. He'll figure it out. Okay, now let's talk about our local teams. Let's talk about these Cowboys. We had to wait till Friday to do the show because it took us that long to get over knowing that our season is pretty much all but over and done with. So Sunday, a lot of things went wrong for the Cowboys. Brandon Aubrey looked human.
Yep.
And if I had to say, if I had to point my finger at the thing that went wrong with the Cowboys, I would just say Brandon Aubrey's missed field goals gave them short field to work with, to where that Jalen Naylor touchdown that he ended up scoring off of the 59-yard miss. Yeah. I think that's the difference in the game right there. Yep. And it's unfair to blame Aubrey, but it's just the Cowboys offense. They just need to score in more of these situations. And then the defense has to be prepared. It's like, look, we have Aubrey, but sometimes he's going to miss these 59-yarders. These aren't automatic. They just have been for him.
It's still hard.
It's still hard to do. And I just think whenever you give another team the short field twice like we did, it's going to pay off. And for them to get that touchdown off the turnover, I can't remember if they got a field goal off the other one, but that could be, going from getting 3 points, that's 6 possible points that turned into 9 points, I want to say. So that's the game right there. And I don't want to blame Aubrey, but if he doesn't miss those field goals, I think that's really more about situational football for us to put him in better situations and to put our offense in a situation to score. Because I don't feel like Javonte Williams got nearly enough carries.
Yeah.
But he had 91 yards on 15 carries. That's not enough. If you're running like that, and to me, if the game is that close, then how have we abandoned the running game?
Yeah.
And that's an issue I had. But 0 sacks against J.J. McCarthy.
We had no pressure. We made that dude look really good.
We made him look like a dual threat quarterback. There's a difference between a mobile quarterback and a dual threat. We made him look like a dual threat guy.
Yeah.
We made him look like a dual threat guy. I think George Pickens, though, I think that him and Dak, that trust is gone, it seems like. And he played big whenever he had to, but now that we really need him to, he really hasn't really shown up the way that we've expected. Now, it could just be the law of averages. He played out of his mind for 3 weeks, so now he's going to play come down to earth. Or actually, it's like, can we just get a middle ground?
Yeah.
Why we got to be the best receiver in the league for 2 weeks and then look like Ryan Flournoy should be getting more snaps than you.
Right.
And that's just how it looks. But that's probably just the way that the defense has been gravitating more towards him, or just him being in the spotlight. It's different, and it's a different situation here because now he has been in Pittsburgh, so he has won games, but those Pittsburgh teams have been one and done as far as the playoffs.
For sure.
There was no real chance for those teams to ever do anything. So I do think that the Cowboys Sunday, outside of Philadelphia just losing every other game and us winning every other game, our playoff chances are all but over. So
am I correct, too? It also felt like our offensive line just didn't really stop the pressure at all.
Yeah, well, Tyler Guyton was out again.
I know he's out hurt.
And Nathan Thomas, he's a 7th-round draft pick. He's 6'5", 335 pounds. He has potential, he has promise, but this is the year where he's supposed to be learning how to play both positions and eventually contribute instead of being forced to be in there. And I think that his future might even be at guard at that frame and that size. So this is just kind of on the job training for his versatility, so he can have a long career. But as far as stepping in for Tyler Guyton, he's not there yet. Now, this could be a thing that next year he could be stepping in for Terrence Steele at the right tackle spot, because as much money as Terrence Steele makes, I just think that you can draft a tackle in the first round this next year that'll make less money than Terrence Steele. Wouldn't you want him to play like a first-round tackle then?
Right.
And we're just not seeing that as far as his pass protection is going. And as far as run blocking, he's one of the best in the league, but we need Dak to stay upright, and whenever you pay a guy that type of money, we had him as a swing tackle with the potential to play both positions. He's turned into that right tackle because that's what we needed him to be, but he's so bad at pass protection, it's never even been an afterthought to try and move him to the other side. So,
right.
Yeah, we'll see how they look this week. It looks like Tyler Guyton is questionable again this week. We have a few other guys that we'll talk about here in a little bit, whether they will play or whether they will not. But yeah, as far do you have anything that you thought that contributed to the Cowboys' loss that I haven't brought up?
No, I mean our defense didn't look good. Didn't get enough pressure. Yeah, I mean Aubrey. I'm not going to blame Aubrey. He's been great for 2-3 years now.
Yeah, 3 seasons, and that's the first time he's ever missed 2 field goals in one game.
And one of them's a
59-yarder. Those
like
don't.
You said, we take that for granted.
We take it for granted because of who he is.
There's lots of guys that are going to miss that kick. So
yeah, most people will.
I think you covered it all.
All right, cool. All right, well, is it safe to say that this Cowboys season has crossed into failure territory, Patrick?
For me, yes, mainly because, as a Cowboys fan, I think we've all gotten used to either one and done playoff runs or not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're going to end up in that spot where it's you're not low enough, you're not bad enough to get a good draft pick, but you're not good enough to go to the playoffs. I hate that.
Yeah. Now, what I would say is, I think that we were talking before the show. I honestly, before we even traded Micah Parsons, had this team as a 9-loss team.
Yeah,
I had them as an 8-9 team, possibly a 7-10 team. I just didn't think that they had enough help. As soon as we traded for Kenneth Murray, I knew this was not a playoff defense.
Right.
This was not a playoff defense because we just decided, let's get a guy who plays exactly like Damone Clark, but since he's from Oklahoma, he might sell a jersey or two.
Right.
And it's to me, it was high risk, low reward. There was no reward with that. This tape's out there on Kenneth Murray. And until we go back to the 90s type NFL football where you're always going to have 3 linebackers on the field where somebody can line him up and tell him what to do at all times.
Right.
He can't play in this league like that. And the thing is I'm pretty sure he's a great practice player. Pretty sure he's a good teammate.
Sure.
Because if he wasn't, then he wouldn't be in the NFL anymore.
He definitely wouldn't be there.
You know? And at 6'2", 240 pounds, running a 4.5 40, that's what everybody wants in a linebacker. But it just too many false steps. The guy just really hasn't put it together as far as what he can do on the field. And it was a 1-year deal. We traded for him for 1 year, and if we can get him for a league minimum, I wouldn't mind him being a bench guy if people get hurt to come in there, but to be a backup for Overshawn, to be a backup for somebody else that we possibly get in the future. But he should not be a top 2 linebacker on your team.
No.
You're not going to be a successful defense if Kenneth Murray is your guy. He's just not. And I remember people from Oklahoma fans would be like, oh, there was a game where he had 27 tackles in college. Blah, blah. I'm like, that was a long time ago. And I'm pretty sure the game was a lot slower
and one game
and a lot easier, and he was I think he was all Big 12, all consensus, second team, third team All-American, but he hasn't done it at this level. And he never showed anything before he got here to tell me that he would do anything different.
Yeah. Especially not in this defense.
No, not in this defense. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about George Pickens. Now, the way that he's looked these last few weeks, are you still on board with bringing him back and re-signing him, or are you rethinking that? Or do you think the Cowboys should be rethinking that?
I mean, I guess to me it would depend on who do you want to franchise tag this year, because I definitely don't want to pay him what I'm sure he's going to want. and what he can point at and say, look at these games, I'm worth that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get the right thing for him, then absolutely. See you later.
Yeah, I would love him to finish off the season like he was a few weeks ago, going for 150, get his stock all the way up to where we could, whether we bring him back for the cheap. Because to me, the way that he's kind of vanished in these last few weeks, I think that he's in that T. Higgins category as far as the type of tier of receiver you consider him. He's not a 1A.
Right.
He's not.
No.
You can try to make him a 1A. But I think if you had him and you wanted to pay him to be that guy, I would really think that it would be like, oh, yeah, and I'm drafting a receiver in the first round, so I could have them come as a duo. But eventually I have another top-tier receiver that can overcome him. Like
a guy waiting in the wings.
Yeah, kind of like how whenever we drafted CD when we had Amari.
Sure.
Like that type of situation is what I would think. But as far as signing him, I just think that in most years I would say no, but it's really just it's just about how much he's going to cost, and if we can get rid of like a Terrence Steele contract,
right? Because you told me the wide receiver class in this draft is fairly deep.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. There's some guys that we'll see tonight, like Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M. He's a nice slot receiver. He's more of like you would replace Turpin with this guy because even though he's 5'11", 190, that's a lot bigger than Turpin.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about almost 25 pounds. And I just think that like somebody like that, he's a guy that we could probably replace him with in the end of the first round if we were to trade down. But as far as like first round talent, there's Mekhi Lemon from USC. We have Carnell Tate from Ohio State, who we'll see next week in the second round of the college football playoffs. We have Denzel Boston from University of Washington and Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson is the local kid who went to Allen High School. If you followed my page, he probably has more highlight reels on my page than any other DFW athlete in the last 2 years.
Dallas Bias.
But Dallas Bias Club. But amazing receiver. And, he's definitely going pro. And I think there's at least 4 or 5 first-round receiver talents in this draft. Like I said, the Cowboys do have 2 first-round picks this year, so they can trade down in the second and do something to make sure that they have if they're going to be paying all these people all this money, they might even trade the higher of their 2 picks to get more second and more third-round capital, which is something I could see. But paying Pickens, it would just really depend on what the price tag is. Now, if we franchise him, and if somebody wants to give us a first round pick for him, take him.
Bye-bye.
Buy it. I'll take any one of those 4 guys I just named over Pickens. Now, once we get to the 5th, 6th, 7th guy in the draft, then that's whenever we start talking about whether we want to keep Pickens or not.
Right.
Yeah. But, okay. Now, before we've heard Eberflus was thrown under the bus earlier this week by Jerry, but I guess he has about 3 weeks to try and save his job. Do you think that there's a realistic chance that Matt Eberflus can save his job this season?
No, because I don't believe Jerry. I don't believe Jerry is giving him a chance to save his job. I think he's out.
Jerry wouldn't come out and talk bad about you like this if he didn't expect to have you out of here.
And ultimately, most of the guys I feel like on the team that were on the team last year have regressed, or at the very least have not gotten any better.
Yeah.
And to me, that says it's not about them. It's about him and the scheme and the way he's running things.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think he saves his job. I hope, honestly, I know this sounds mean, I hope he doesn't save his job.
Yeah, well, they're saying this week he's actually going to be in the booth, so he'll have a different view, but we've tried everything else, right? Now, the thing is, I don't think it's fair that this guy takes a job to coach Micah Parsons and loses Micah Parsons a week before game 1.
True.
But this sport isn't fair. Life isn't fair. And outside of Quinn Williams getting a pick every other game like he did, and he probably won't play this week because of concussion protocol.
Right.
I just think that it's going to be a tough weekend if we don't have Quinn Williams out there on the football field.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be trouble. So now, as far as like the season being a failure or not, I do think that this team is better with Quinn Williams and with Kenny Clark than they would be with just Micah Parsons.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And I do think that with Overshawn being beat up, with the safeties, whether it's Wilson, whether it's Malik Hooker, whether it's even Bell, Wanye Thomas, all 4 of those guys have spent significant time on the injured list this year.
Right.
To where it's like this guy hasn't had he hasn't had depth at safety. And with Siobhan Ravel, we all know the Diggs actually, they're saying he's going to play this week, which is a shock. And I think that's because they're saying that Bland's done for the season.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So it seems like, so do you think that that's coincidence or not?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, all right, we're done playing games. We'll let you come out there because we really, really, really need you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see this weekend, but I guess we'll go ahead and get into that game unless you wanted to add anything about Eberflus. Like I said, the season, I think we're better because of these two guys, but let's see if we have these two guys next year. But is Eberflus done enough to keep coaching? The only thing that would save his job is that this would be our third defensive coordinator in 3 years.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing that would
save, look.
which is not a good look. But does Jerry care about looking good? He cares about making paper, player.
Believe that.
Please believe that, hustler. Bet that, hustler. All right, let's go ahead and get into this Cowboys and Chargers game. So the Cowboys are actually favored this weekend. Were you shocked to see that?
Yes.
It was a little shocking. The Cowboys are favored by 2.5 points. It's an over-under of 49.5. Man, I was a little bit shocked to see it just because coming off of the loss we just had. And the fact that this is actually a good football team.
Yeah.
With Jim Harbaugh, like, to me, I think the last time that we played the Chargers was 2 years ago. We ended up beating them in SoFi. Yep. But the Chargers, I guess maybe it's the fact that the Chargers are 0-2 at AT&T Stadium. They've never, so pretty much they haven't beat the Cowboys in the last 16 years. So maybe they're using history to play into that. Maybe they're using the history of AT&T Stadium to play into that. I'm not buying it.
Right.
Because you know me, I don't trust it when the Cowboys are favored in any game.
Yeah, especially
I never trust it. I think that's Vegas trying to take people's money, trying to take money from America's team.
They're trying to sucker you in.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. So as far as being favored, that's a shock to me just because, this is the third week that Amarion Hampton is back. He's just getting healthier. Quinn Williams being questionable. That just sounds like trouble. It sounds like trouble. Sounds like trouble. And to me, unless the media knows something that Justin Herbert suffered some type of setback with but it's a non-throwing hand. So
right.
I just don't see it unless they're just saying it's like, well, it usually takes an explosive receiving core to beat the Cowboys, and Keenan Allen's not exactly explosive anymore.
Not anymore.
And Quentin Johnson, good sometimes, disappears other weeks, And as far as their receiving core, I think their biggest threat to us is probably Rondé Gadsden Jr., which could be some problems as far as receiving goes. But with Kamani Vidal and with Amarion Hampton, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And Quinn Williams possibly out, I'm just scared. And I just can't see how we're favored whenever they have two strong running backs on that team.
Yeah, because Cowboys they're two different. I will put it this way. They were a different team at the beginning of the season when we didn't have him.
Yeah.
And now that he's going to be out, are we going to be that team again?
Yeah, there's no telling. Well, actually, there is. Yeah. We're not going to be that good.
Most likely, we're going to be that team.
Yeah, we're going to be that team getting ran through. Like, I think I had a nightmare last night. Remember that last game ever at Cowboy Stadium when every Baltimore Ravens running back had 100 yards? Oh, this might be a bad one like that, where they had to blow up the stadium after that. That's how bad that one was.
Cleared out.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if something like that happened. Okay, so, Patrick, we're going to start something new these last few weeks. We're going to call it trust issues. We're going to pick which quarterbacks we trust the most in all of these Sunday matchups. You like it?
I like this
you like
actually
it?
A lot.
Yeah, I had you in mind when I thought about
it. I was like, ooh, I like this.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as trust issues, we're going to start with the home team. We're going to start with the Cowboys in the Chargers game. We have Justin Herbert against Dak Prescott. Sorry, it's been a while.
No doubt.
Yeah, but Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, they're both putting up pretty comparable numbers, but the performance of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, it's gonna affect the numbers a little bit.
Right, for sure.
And then whenever another guy has a broken hand, you might not throw with it, but you still land on it when you get hit.
Oh, for sure.
And even 2 weeks ago, he had that nice stiff arm with that hand. It hurt him a little bit. Yeah. So what are your thoughts as far as this? Who do you trust more in this situation going into Sunday?
I will say now I have the Dallas biases in full effect here.
Okay, I like it.
I'm not I've never been big on Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's okay. He's fine. He's looked better, I think, this year than he has any other season he's played, really.
Yeah.
But Dak's been putting up numbers, man, and he has the receiving core to do it. I don't know. This year, I think Dak has looked a lot better in general, although he always puts up pretty gaudy numbers fantasy-wise anyway.
Oh, yeah. If he has a healthy receiving core, then Dak is going to perform. And the shocking thing has been how well he's performed with the shoddy offensive line. You know, as far as it's kind of been a turnstile in more ways than one, as far as who he has in there and as far as the people coming to hit him every game. But it's been something to watch. I've been impressed with Dak's ability to play despite all the things going on with the offensive line.
Yeah.
Because Tyler Smith's missed time. Tyler Booker's missed time. Every single offensive lineman on that team has missed time. And for him to he just kind of came into the season, all right, I guess I'm going to have to run for my life this year.
Yeah.
And he's done it. And it's been impressive. To me, honestly, this is probably Dak's most impressive year as far as an individual.
I would agree with that.
For all the chaos that has happened around him, for him to play at this level, I just think has been extremely impressive.
Especially because this year does feel unusually chaotic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's just been a lot of moving
parts.
There's just
so many things have gone on this year. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. And he's been the one constant as far as everything's gone. And, you kind of got to just tip your hat off to him. Tip the hat. Tip the cap.
Knock on the wood, he's stayed healthy, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he stayed healthy. But I am at the point to where just lose all these games.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that.
Unless Philly, loses every game, but because the only way in is through the division.
Yeah,
it's through the division. So if Philly, but the way that they looked last week, I think that they finally they've righted the ship. Hopefully not, but I don't want to just end up being like 8-1 and missing the playoffs and having the worst draft pick out of all the teams that didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, so, I love that draft talk. Love that draft talk.
Definitely.
All right. So you're saying Dak as far as your homer pick.
Dak as far as
I like it because I feel like Sam Darnold did something last night. Do we need to trust these home quarterbacks this week? Because the way that game was going, if anybody turned off the TV after the third quarter, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I turned the channel.
Yeah.
I turned the channel. I had to watch Cooper Flag ball.
Over, quote unquote.
Yeah, it was over. But yeah. So yeah. I trust Dak more than I trust Justin Herbert. And that's really more built off his health. But I trust. And I also, their offensive line is just as beat up as ours, if not more so, because they have Joe Alt, first round pick from 2 years ago. Was playing great football at right tackle, out for the season. Rashawn Slater, first round pick 4 years ago, out for the season. So they have two guys that would probably be Pro Bowlers if healthy, gone, out of the building completely. So Justin Herbert's been going through it too, and he has an unreliable Quentin Johnson out there. Unreliable.
Can't not be.
TCU though, Dallas Buyers Club.
Nice.
Yeah. Got to shout him out, though. So I will say that, yes, I'm with you. I do trust Dak more in this situation, but not enough to win.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But I trust him to outplay Justin Herbert. But I just think that Justin Herbert and the Chargers, I just think that the running game's too much. As much as even though I trust Dak more, I just trust that running game coming together at the right time. Jim Harbaugh, he's a guy who's going to run the football, which is, he's one of those few quarterbacks that he's like, no, I like to run the football. And I win with defense and running. And so I think in this matchup, it's really more about the run game, but I would pick Dak, though, as far as who I trust, though. So if the game comes down to the line, 2 minutes left, and the Cowboys have the football, then I trust Dak Prescott to pull it out.
To get it done.
And bring the Cowboys to victory. Now, as far as the next game on the slate, Saturday NFL football, we have Jordan Love and Caleb Williams facing off. That's an old school game right there. Got Green Bay Packers playing against the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. Two teams that are more than likely playoff teams. I think they're all playing for something. So who do you trust more in this matchup between Jordan Love and Caleb Williams?
I don't like Caleb Williams.
You don't like him or you don't trust him? All right, is this person, did you cut him this year?
I did cut him this year.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I kind of halfway trust both of them, but don't trust either one of them completely.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that as far as Caleb Williams goes, I think he's come a long way from last year because a lot of people thought last year, it's like, oh, what have we done? This guy's going to be a bust. He's horrible. But I think that he's turned it around. He is going to be missing Rome Odunze this weekend and Luther Burden. And I think Christian Watson is out for the Packers. With me, I'm going to just have to say I trust Jordan Love more just because I think that even though Christian Watson's hurt, Tucker Kraft's hurt, they do have other guys who've stepped up in situations. Now, I don't necessarily like Romeo Doubs looking like a blitz player out there with the big head, but I think the rest of those receivers, they pretty much hold it down. I like Jaden Reed. He's finally back and healthy, so I'd like to see what he's going to do. But I do think that I'm going to just have to go with the Packers just because they're a more experienced team. And I'm just going to trust Matt LaFleur in this situation with Jordan Love, just the more experienced quarterback with the more experienced coach.
Sure.
They've been there before. And I think this is one of those games that the Bears, they're going to have to battle a little bit before they get to that point. And I think this is the year where they're going to just have to fight and claw to figure it out. They've come a long way.
Playing?
They're playing in Chicago in Soldier Field.
Okay.
Okay. So, might be some inclement weather this weekend as far as that game goes. So you're rolling with Jordan Love as well?
I think so.
All right. So me and Patrick both rolling with Jordan Love in this situation. And we're also both rolling with Dak. Let's go on to the next quarterback. We have Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Bryce Young. Who do you trust more right now?
Baker. Baker.
Yeah.
Baker, to me, Baker is one of those, almost like ultimate redemption stories.
Yeah.
He looked not great at all in Cleveland, and then something about Tampa Bay turned him around.
Well, he spent time in Tampa Bay. Before he was in Tampa Bay, though, he actually spent time with Sean McVay.
Yeah.
To where it seems like if you go and sit the bench behind, where Sean McVay's at, or where, or in San Francisco under Kyle Shanahan, it's like you're learning. It's like they keep teaching over there. And then these guys, whether it's Sam Darnold, whether it's Baker Mayfield, it's like these guys have turned their careers around, which has been impressive. And I just like that Mike Evans is back.
That was a big part of it. I really hope Mike Evans sets all the records he can.
Yeah, I'm just a fan of his.
Yeah.
That man's so good at football, he made y'all think Johnny Manziel was good. Got him.
Burn.
Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna roll with. I think Mike Evans is gonna try and break records. He's trying to get that 1,000-yard season, so he might go for 200.
How many targets you think he's gonna see?
20.
I love it.
He'll get 20 targets.
I love it.
And there's no Chris Godwin. I think Igbuka's been in and out of the lineup, so they're playing to win. They're playing for a playoff spot. He's their best player when he has the ball in their hands. So why not?
Let's do it.
Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it up. All right, we're going to go with our next game. We're going to talk about Trevor Lawrence, man. I got to give him props, man. I got to give him props.
He's been sneaky good this year.
He's been sneaky good this year. Now, he went against the AFC's version of a slump buster in the Jets last week and made them pay. But Trevor Lawrence or Bo Nix, who do you trust more right now?
Trevor Lawrence has surprised me a lot this season because I did not think he had any business being a quarterback really anymore. He just didn't.
He didn't look. It almost seemed like he didn't care.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the other part of it. It's not only do you not look great, but the passion or the accountability, whatever, just didn't seem like it was really resonating there.
Yeah. And maybe he's had a lot of bad coaches there, and and maybe that can put a bad taste in your mouth to where it's just I just went from Dabo Sweeney, who was a legend, and just came off winning a championship with Deshaun Watson, winning a championship with me. We are used to a winning culture. So him being around these other coaches, maybe it just put a bad taste in his mouth. And now we're seeing, he's like, okay, with Liam Cohen there as the coach, it's like now he's got something he can actually buy into.
Right.
And, and maybe he did believe in Urban Meyer, but once Urban left, then you had Doug Peterson, just that revolving door of coaches. It can't be good for anybody, but it's good to see him turn things around. But in saying that, I'm going to go with Bo Nix.
I agree wholeheartedly.
It's like, when's the last time the Broncos lost?
I was going to say, they've been consistently good all season.
Yeah, and they've been good this season. And unlike, the Patriots, they've been on their win streak, but they've been beating a whole bunch of bad teams. You know, like the Broncos, they've been going through it. You know, they're having to beat that. You know, like them and the Chargers, they pretty much have had to take this division from Patrick Mahomes. You know, that's why Mahomes and them are going to be watching the playoffs, is because they couldn't beat these teams early on.
Yep.
So I just think that Bo Nix
weapons are good too.
Huh?
He's got the receivers. He's got a run game. Their defense isn't bad. Like, honestly, I think they're a put together.
And
team.
then and Sean Payton, legend in the game.
Sure.
You know, legend in the game. Cortland Sutton, he's sneaky good receiving core. Like Troy Franklin's quietly putting together a really good season. Marvin Mims can always scare you as far as special teams. We're playing that slot receiver, and that defense. That defense is great, and great defense playing at home. I think this is going to be definitely an under as far as the score goes with this game. But I'm just going to trust Bo Nix more in this situation, and that's just really more. I've just seen too much of Trevor Lawrence to where I need to see it at a more consistent rate for me to go ahead and put him. You know, think of him in a higher light than I do of Bo Nix right now.
Like if he strings another season like this together next year.
If he plays like he did last week, this week, that might be enough.
Yeah.
You know, 6 touchdowns a game, a lot of touchdowns.
That is a lot of
It's
touchdowns.
like people go careers that never do that. So we'll see. Good luck. That's what it takes for Jordan Maye to be like a fan of yours.
He's got a high standard.
Yeah, high standards. Very high standard. Okay, all right. Now let's go ahead and talk about Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers in a Pittsburgh jersey, going to a very familiar place in Detroit where he's played many a times, against Jared Goff. Now let's see what that spread is. We have Detroit is favored by 7. So who do you trust more in this game? Aaron Rodgers or Jared Goff?
For the line or to win?
To win.
Jared Goff.
For the line.
Jared Goff, I think. To the line, maybe Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I don't trust Aaron Rodgers. And that's just in life. That's not just in the game. That dude is not.
Yeah.
He does not.
COVID exposed him to all types of things.
This man is not trustworthy.
Yeah.
But I do like Jared Goff. I think their team, yet again, another team. They've got a lot of weapons, and I like Dan Campbell as much as I don't want to. I do like him.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's bites kneecaps off and wins football games, you know. It's like if you're going to buy a kneecap, win a football game.
You better at least win.
All right, and he does that. I'm going to say, as far as in life, I do trust Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
To give me terrible advice. You know, I'm too black to listen to Aaron Rodgers. You're going to get me in trouble, bro.
Well, you can go to a cave and do some drugs.
Nah, man. Nah. And also, I don't like this whole, like, culture of snitching on yourself about what you do in your day life.
For real.
Like, you know, it's like, if you want to go and do peyote and do all that stuff, that's cool. Why you want to talk about it and tell everybody about it? Like you trying to have a peyote society where everybody, like, come on, bro.
Do you think people think you're cool because you do that?
Yeah. And maybe that's what it is. He's newly 40. So he's still trying to be cool. It's like, motherfucker, we 40. Don't nobody care about being cool no more. Stop it.
You hear him say skibbity, just watch him.
Zippity doo-dah. Zip it up and zip it out. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers are trying to be cool with drugs. It's cool not to snitch on yourself. That's cool. Like, talk to your boy Marshawn. He would never do that.
Not ever.
Never, ever. He's like, man, you better plead the fifth, bruh.
He's just there so he doesn't get fined.
Yeah, that's it. Activate sad mode, bro. I love that commercial.
Great.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's go on to some AFC action. We have young Drake Maye, my favorite person referred to as Drake. Drake Maye going up against Lamar Jackson this weekend. That's Buffalo going to Baltimore. Baltimore is favored by 3.5 points. So who do you trust more in this matchup?
This season, Drake Maye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall, like, I still think, like, if you were to give me a choice, like, you know, blindly, which quarterback do you want for your team?
Yeah.
I'd still probably pick Lamar.
Yeah.
But this year, I think Drake May's been.
See, I'm like the opposite.
Really?
So I want Lamar right now just because I think that it's after this year, then I think that Drake Maye will enter that realm of elite quarterback.
Top tier.
And I just think that if give me another year of Drake Maye where he has more weapons, then I'll take him. But I think that right now Baltimore needs this win more than New England does.
That's definitely true.
And during that win streak, like I said, New England, they didn't beat any teams over 500 during that entire win streak.
Right.
So I just think that it was a good win. It's a nice stepping stone as a good trajectory for that franchise and for Drake Maye.
For sure.
But I think Lamar Jackson is difficult. He's a problem.
Oh, for sure.
He's a problem. And I think his biggest issue has been he can't trust Mark Andrews anymore.
Yeah. What a drop off.
That's crazy, man. Like, if you had told me a year and a half ago, I would have traded Jake Ferguson for Mark Andrews, no questions asked. Now, I don't even know if I think he's got the yips.
There was a point where, like, you had, like, Kelsey. Mark Andrews was right. Guy.
Yeah, it's like Andrews is in that, at least the Kittle tier.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no.
Not no more.
Not no more. And I don't know if it's necessarily that the offense they put likely in a position to make more plays than he had in the past because of what went down at the end of last season with Andrews. But to me, if y'all aren't going to use him, I'm sure he can redeem himself elsewhere.
Sure.
You can't tell me that this man is washed up.
Yeah, give him a chance to go somewhere else and rejuvenate.
I'll take him for the cheap. And I'll trade Jake Ferguson. I've seen the best Mark Andrews I've ever seen is not even in the same category as a Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson he's better than Dalton Schultz.
Sure. Although even he's done okay.
But to me, it's like, but those are just guys. It's like, to me, it just shows me that if you get a tight end that's 6'4" or 6'5", 250 pounds, and runs a 4.75 40. Then Dak gonna make it work.
He gonna be good.
Dak gonna make him good. Dak makes tight ends look good. That's what he does. And so I don't get the overpaying. Like, you should have treated Jake Ferguson the same way you treated Dalton Schultz. It's like, and I didn't get paying him early. It was, and I think it was just a lot of these moves, whether it was Osa, whether it was Ferguson, I think a lot of this stuff was just because Jerry was all right. Nah, Mike, I'm not going to pay you, and I'm just doing this to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Just
head games.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because Jake Ferguson, to me, it's like, is it because he dates a Cavendish sister, so it brings publicity to the team?
He's fine.
Like, he's a good tight end, but that's not a guy that you re-sign. Yeah. That's a guy that you let go.
And especially not re-sign early.
Because you can draft somebody better in the top 3 rounds of any NFL draft.
Right.
Of any draft. And I'm not trying to knock the guy.
No, for sure.
But there's a reason why he was a 3rd-day pick.
Yeah.
Because there's guys that are bigger, stronger, run faster, and have a better resume coming into the NFL than a Jake Ferguson. So give me Mark Andrews. But as far as this matchup, give me Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, let's go to the last one. That's your favorite quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding, y'all. Brock Purdy. We have Brock Purdy going up against Old Man Rivers this weekend. We have San Francisco is favored by 6, over under of 46.5. Who do you have in this game? Who do you trust more between Brock Purdy or Phillip Rivers?
This one, honestly, out of the whole list, I think was the hardest one for me.
Yeah, because you hate Brock Purdy that much?
I don't like Brock Purdy at all. Yeah. But I know how old Phillip Rivers is and not being in the game for a while, and it makes me like not.
Yeah, it's not like this is Tom Brady who's just continued a career. You took a break. You took a break to where you were on the Hall of Fame ballot.
Yeah.
So you're like, nah, let me just dust these cleats off.
And I'm sure, just like most of these guys, I'm sure he was working out. I'm sure he was still.
Yeah, he coaches the high school. He's around the weights.
He's around the thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Honestly, I would pick Brock Purdy as much as I hate to.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to roll with you as well. Brock Purdy, he's like 20 years younger.
Yeah. And honestly, for me, that's really 90% of what it is.
I like Rivers' weapons more.
Yeah.
I think that McCaffrey's had an off year as far as running the football. Fantastic as a receiver.
For sure.
Kittle, but it's pretty much been him and Kittle as receivers that have saved this team.
Yep.
Because Brandon Ayuk hasn't played all season.
Nope.
Ricky Pearsall has been in and out of the lineup. And really, they've been depending on Jawan Jennings on the outside. Didn't they have to go get Kendrick Bourne earlier this year? And he's already out for the season, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's, the walking wounded over there as far as that receiving core goes. Man, you know what? Let's switch it up. I'm going Phillip Rivers. Let's go.
I love
Let's
it.
go. Week
Talked
2,
himself
Phillip Rivers.
into it.
He got Jonathan Taylor. He actually runs the football well.
True.
That is disrespectful to you, Christian McCaffrey. But, we playing in a championship this weekend.
Well, and hey, man, McCaffrey, everybody knows how good McCaffrey is. It's okay to talk a little bit down on him.
He's an all-purpose back. He's an all-purpose back. So what he does, you can't knock his running and not talk about what he does as a receiver.
For sure.
So, but yeah, I'm going with Old Man Rivers, man.
I love it.
I'm going with Old Man Rivers. This is always and forever supporting the class of 2000.
My head says Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
My heart.
Yeah.
Says Phillip Rivers.
Well, we have a couple of heart picks that we're gonna have to deal with here in a little bit, but I guess that's enough of our NFL talk right now, Patrick.
All right.
So let's get into some college football talk.
Your favorite?
Oh, my favorite.
This is your favorite time of year.
Woohoo! Whenever it's football, when it's all types of football every weekend, every day, I love it.
Yeah.
When the NFL ain't messing around and like, hey, we're gonna throw a Friday game in here, take away your.
And we're going to put it on a random streamer that you may not have.
And we're going to make sure it's a bad game.
Yeah, and it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, no, I ain't messing with all that. But, the Heisman Trophy was this past week, and Fernando Mendoza ended up winning the Heisman this week. Mendoza is the quarterback from Indiana. He ended up having, 33 touchdowns, under 3,000 yards. Good season. Sounds like a solid Big Ten quarterback season.
Right.
The problem is he won the Heisman with less than 3,000 passing yards. Do you know what that means?
It means he has less. When's the last time a quarterback won with that few yards?
He probably ran for 1,000 on the ground
exactly.
with it. It's crazy. And to me, look, I love Mendoza as a prospect. As a prospect, I think he's a fine prospect. I think that he could possibly be quarterback 1 in this year's NFL draft. My biggest issue is that half of the field that was going to the Heisman Trophy presentation their season was already over. And, a team like Notre Dame and a team like Vanderbilt, they were top 16 teams in the country to where they had legitimate arguments to be in the playoff. So to me, this is just evidence enough to show you that you need to expand it. So, because you need to grow this sport, you need to have a platform for these players. Because what's the point? What's the point in having, hey, here are these guys you'll never watch play again?
Yeah.
It was never like that because these guys would always play in a bowl game. Sure. Right. So if your team has a Heisman Trophy contender, more than likely your team is in the top 16 in the country.
Right. So
more than likely in a 16-team scenario, you would be there.
You should be covered.
You should be there. So we'll see that. But I do think that now the main question I wanted to ask is, do you think the Heisman Trophy has lost its relevancy because of the college football playoff era?
I mean, I think it's still there. I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, I think there's always going to be a place for an award for a singular excellence, like that, the best player. Because I mean, it basically, I don't think they say it outright. It's the best player in college football.
Yeah, it used to be the best player who exhibits outstanding character, blah, 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 this and that. But now it's like, we just want ballers. We just want
Show
ballers.
me your stat line.
Because if you look at it back in the day, guys like Gino Torretta and Danny Werfel used to win. And now it's like, we want to look back and tell people that this guy was great who won the award. Sure. So let's make sure that we just pick the best player. Like the best player, like who's an NFL talent? All right. Who's on the best team? Let's get that guy. Right. And I think that's kind of why it's become more of a quarterback-driven award, because now if you look at like the last 15 years of the award, if you're a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, it actually means something now. There was a time where, it's a Heisman Trophy quarterback, but all those guys suck. It was like understood in the 90s. It's like, yeah, but those guys suck, Yeah,
if it's not a running back.
Shout out to Chris Winkie. It's because you suck.
Winks for Winky.
You know how it goes. All right. But yeah, I do think that it has kind of damaged the relevancy, but I think it's really more if they fix the format, then it will be fine. Because if you can use these highlights as like a preview for like these bowl games that we used to get ready for. Because back in the day, it's like Army, Navy play this day. Then you have the Heisman Trophy. Then you anticipate the bowl games that all these guys you see at the Heisman Trophy presentation are going to be playing in. Now, they're not like, Diego Pavia is playing in one, but we had to see him act like a punk bitch, like, you know, pretty much crash out and just like, come on, bro. It's like everybody was talking about you like you could be the next Russell Wilson. Now you acting like Stetson Bennett from Georgia. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's like you already got enough working against you. Show that you're a good character individual because you're a 6-year senior. You need to show maturity beyond that.
You're a grown man.
You're a grown ass man. You're a grown ass man.
Like not some young 18-year-old man, quote unquote. You are a grown man now.
Yeah. But I you know, and I get it. There's frustration that comes with being at that position. And I think if they made the playoffs, he probably wouldn't have been as mad. But I think to lose the playoff and to lose the Heisman. But the thing is, you lost to a guy that hasn't lost a game.
Sure. It's hard to argue with.
You lost 2. Sorry, man. It sucks. And you know, and it's probably even worse because he's like, and they're saying he's going to get drafted over me. I'm like, yeah, he's 6'5", you're 5'11".
Probably will.
You know, it's unfortunate, but that's classless. But you know, I'm here for it. Like it's just, you know, it's just one of those things. It's like you don't want to see that from a quarterback. You don't want to see it from.
Yeah, if it were a wide receiver or somebody, it would be
diva,
fine.
known diva, we're fine
problem.
with that. We know you dramatic. We good with it, but you don't want to see that from a quarterback. But I would hope. I guess we'll see. They did say that this year's Heisman Trophy was the most viewed Heisman Trophy that they've had, in, I think, since 2012.
Really?
They moved it to ABC. From ESPN.
That's a little misleading.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, that is how they get
you.
See,
numbers, dog. It's manipulation. They ain't being honest with y'all. I be watching.
I feel like I got bamboozled.
Hoodwinked.
Yeah, hornswoggled.
Okay. All right. Now, let's go ahead and run through these a little bit quicker. I know we got stuff to do. You know, 9 o'clock Stars game, got moves to make. But let's talk about. So the Cowboys have 2 first-round picks in this year's NFL draft. So this first round of the college football playoff, I wanted to talk about maybe 4 or 5 players that, if you're a Cowboys fan, who we need to be watching for as possible selections in this year's NFL draft.
I want you to know I love this part of these shows.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch a ton of college football, especially not across the board. So it's always interesting when I remember a name you've mentioned before.
You're like, Jordan said something about that guy 4 years ago.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's awesome.
Like the whole Derek Lively thing, how I'm like, everybody says he's a second-round pick. He's going to be the second 7-footer taken in the draft. And
going to be
ours. You know, he'll be ours. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start. I want to do 5 or 6. Let's just go through them. All right, let's go game by game. So as far as the Alabama-Oklahoma game, there's 2 guys that I'll be paying a lot of attention to. Caden Proctor, he's an offensive lineman for Alabama. He's a 6'6", 6'7", 365-pound offensive lineman. He plays left tackle, and he's actually caught touchdowns and ran touchdowns in the last 2 years. Freakish athlete. I think his biggest issue is he's 365 pounds. That's like, as an NFL offensive lineman, especially a tackle, you usually want a guy to be in that 330 to 350 pound range. And if he can get to that 330 pound, 350 range, there's a chance that this guy can shoot up the board to where he's the first offensive tackle taken. But there's no way this guy gets out of this first round. So he's, as bad as our tackle situation has been this year, I think that he's athletic enough, talented enough. He has the pedigree to where if you draft this guy, he could beat out either Tyler Guyton or he could beat out Terrence Steele. Like, he's that good.
Beat out
pedigree. Yeah. So, and I think that that would be the one guy that you would want to target from this game as far as first-round picks go. Now, as far as Oklahoma, he will be going up against R. Mason Thomas, who is one of the better edge rushers in the country. But R. Mason Thomas is an undersized edge rusher at 245 pounds, going up against a 365-pound man. So if he plays well in tonight's game, he's going to make a lot of money. If he disappears, he'll just be like most people. When a 360-pound man is in front of you,
right?
Disappear. Like an eclipse of sorts. But yeah, those are the guys that I will be paying attention to in that game. Now, as far as the next game, there's going to be a lot of stars out here for this Miami Texas A&M game. As far as Miami, they have another offensive lineman named Francis Moinoa. His brother is Francisco Moinoa, who was a late-round draft pick last year. I can't remember who drafted him, but he is playing in the NFL right now. And this is his bigger little brother. Yeah, he's 6'5", 6'6", around 335 pounds, 100 pounds bigger than his older brother, and 3 inches taller. And he's also caught a touchdown pass this year. So we got some guys who can move as far as the tackle position. So Tyler Guyton, I wouldn't trust him to run a pattern, run a route, or even just line him up at fullback to make an inline block. But these guys have shown that type of athleticism, whether it's Moe Noah or Proctor from Alabama, to where that would be an upgrade. And again, this guy could start over either one of our tackles, whether it's Guyton or whether it's Terrence Steele. Okay. Now, they also have another edge rusher named Cassius Howell. Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. I think he is second in all of FBS in Power 5 football, in sacks behind David Bailey from Texas Tech. Now, I'm just talking about the games this weekend. Next week, we'll talk about the Texas Tech guys and all the other guys. There's just a lot of players in a little time.
Yeah.
A lot of players in a little time. So, Cassius Howell, Bowling Green State transfer. So I represent.
I know you love that.
Last year, Harold Fanning came through out of Bowling Green and set the world on fire during this NFL season as probably one of the better rookie tight ends this year outside of Tyler Warren. Another Bowling Green product. I think that Cassius Howell, number 9, if you want to pay attention to another possible Cowboy, that would be him. I did talk about Casey Concepcion, but like I said, I don't think that the Cowboys would necessarily go for a slot receiver in the first round, especially if it's a possibility that they would be keeping George Pickens. Right. So I know a lot of people are going to be like, what about Casey Concepcion? I'm like, I'm talking about the Cowboys fits. All right. So in the next game, Ole Miss, Tulane, nobody. But I will give a shout out to Kejuan Lacey out of Lancaster, the starting running back for Ole Miss. He's, I think he won. Did he win the Doak? I think he was second in the Doak Walker. First team All SEC. Transferred out of Missouri. Hell of a season. True sophomore, so he can't go pro. So we can't talk. We'll talk about him more next season. He might be an LSU Tiger next year. Go follow Lane Kiffin. But really, outside of that, there's another. Wilt Eccles is a defensive tackle for Ole Miss. He's a sophomore as well. So those are two guys that they have two great players on that team. They just can't go pro. So don't think I forgot. Don't think I forgot. I be knowing.
We'll hear about them again.
We'll hear about them soon. We'll hear about them. And then in the last game tomorrow night, we have James Madison against Oregon. As far as this game is concerned, the guy that I'm really looking at, I know a lot of people are going to talk about Mateo Ugawanalele. Sorry. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but it's because your brother wasn't good enough for me to put a stain on my brain. All right. All right. That's on your brother DJ for being a bad quarterback.
How are you going to have a first name like DJ and that kind of last name? That's wild.
It's Ugawanalele, something like that. I'll get it right next time.
Oodalali all the day.
Hey, I'm not. That's offensive. I don't like it. All right. See, and now I'll put Patrick's picture up. Not his real one. No. So go after Patrick Stewart for making these comments.
That guy's
only if he's surrounded by Broadway dancers. All right. But as far as these prospects go in this game, I think Oregon, they have a safety name, Dylan Thiemann. And I honestly think a lot of people talk about Caleb Downs from Ohio State, and we'll talk about him next week as well, whenever Ohio State actually plays. But I honestly think that they're almost the same guy. The only difference I see with Caleb Downs is he can help you in special teams as a return guy versus Thiemann. He's pretty much just a safety, but they're both around the same size, about 5'11", 6 feet tall, 205 pounds, both 4'4" guys. And one guy's going to get drafted 20 picks after the other one. So there's value in that. So I wouldn't be mad if the Cowboys were to end up getting Dylan Thiemann at the end of the first round, because I do think that he is far and away the second. Well, there's a group of safeties. The other guy is a Toledo safety, Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Toledo did not make the playoffs, so we'll talk about small school guys at another time. But that's the one guy that I'm looking at for Oregon that could actually help this Cowboys team. Now, Dante Moore, the quarterback, one hell of a player. I think he's the best quarterback in college football. I think he's better than Fernando Mendoza, because I don't know if you've heard this. His starting 3 receivers are finally going to be all healthy on tomorrow night. That means all season All season. This guy has been considered one of the 2 best quarterbacks in the country. Has never had a healthy receiving core.
Never had the full complement.
No, not a one-on-one game. Evan Stewart's missed every single game. Frisco Independence represent. Nice. DeCarrion Moore, number 1 receiver. Both these guys were number 1 receivers in the country coming out of high school. Evan Stewart was arguable with Luther Burden, but DeCarrion Moore out of Duncanville, true freshman, number 1 receiver, made plays, got hurt back in October. He's back. And Gary Bryant Jr., who I've always been a fan of, was USC. He's back. I just think that Oregon's my pick to win it all.
Nice.
They're my pick to win it all. I'm telling y'all right now. They're my pick to win it all. I just think that as good as Dante Moore has played with the depleted receiving core, what's he going to do now when he's back to full strength? And all these guys are 10, 300-meter guys. It's a 4x1 team. It ain't fair. And he got 2 weeks of practice with him. What's wrong with y'all? He going to do some work. But, but as far as these guys, Oregon is Dylan Thiemann. Texas A&M, we're talking about Cassius Howell. Miami, we're talking about Francisco Mendoza. I didn't mention Ruben Bain because I think he's a little overrated. And I know everybody thinks that he's one of the top 3 defensive ends, top 3 players in this draft. I just don't see that out of a 6'2", 280-pound defensive end. I need more length. I need like a 6'5" guy, and I need more stats. I need more production. If you're going to be shorter and stockier than these guys, then I need the numbers to blow me away. And they really haven't. Like, his win rates are impressive, right, but the actual stats and the numbers, it's almost like he reminds me of like Osa. He reminds me of a guy that you would kick inside in the NFL. And I'm not trying to change positions for a guy that's supposed to be a top 10 pick.
Right.
So that's why he's not there. And then again, we said Caden Proctor and we said R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. So those are the players to watch. I guess, do we necessarily need to do a parlay? Would you like to know a parlay from your boy?
I would love to.
Okay, all right. So as far as Alabama or Oklahoma, I am going with Oklahoma. I just trust John Mateer and Isaiah Centena that much more than I do what I've seen from Alabama the last month. This is kind of a rematch game. They just played a month ago in Tuscaloosa, and I believe Oklahoma won by 2 points. I think going to Oklahoma, like John Mateer broke his thumb back in, I want to say, at the end of September. So this is the longest period of time that he's had away from football to let that heal a little bit since that moment. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards since then. So if he's going to have a big game, this is it. Now, the scary thing is that Oklahoma is 0-4 in playoff situations.
Yeah.
And they lose by an average of 18 points a game. And Alabama, I don't think they've ever lost in the opening round of a playoff. So this isn't Nick Saban, though. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
He's Dallas biased, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mateer,
Little Elm. Elm represent. Little Elm. All right, now, as far as the next game goes, we're going to go Miami and Texas A&M. I'm going to go with Texas A&M. Now, these 2 games are heart bets. You know that. I hate A&M with all my heart, and I love the U. So I'm picking A&M just because it's at College Station. Miami pretty much played 8 of their 12 games this season in the state of Florida, which is crazy. So they haven't traveled that much. And, A&M's undefeated at home. The only game they lost this year was to a good Texas team that should be in this playoff over a team like Miami, over a team like Alabama. And when we saw them, they're better than Oklahoma. They beat them. They beat that ass.
Straight up.
Straight up. So, so I'm just saying A&M's going to pull it off. I'm not an Aggie. Don't be confused by me rooting for them in this one instance because they'll probably lose because I jinxed them. Maybe I cursed them. I don't know. All right, Tulane, Mississippi. Come on now. It's Ole Miss, and they're going to cover, and they might win by more than they did earlier this season because they took their foot off the gas earlier this year in that game where they won by 35 points. It's a 17.5-point spread in this one. They'll cover by 24. As far as JMU and Oregon, JMU actually has pretty good players. The issue, it's kind of like when TCU went. Y'all might have 22 guys, but y'all don't got 44. It's like, because if that guy rolls his ankle, y'all done. They have this running back named Wayne Knight. I think that sounds like the guy who
that's Newman. That's
Newman, right? Sounds like Newman or from Jurassic Park fame. Definitely not the same size, build, speed. This guy's 5'7", 195 pounds, but I'm pretty sure
that'd be awesome if it was the same.
Yeah, but I hope that's his nickname. But Wayne Knight, if you want to see I like to watch those mascot type players play.
Sure.
He's 1,000-yard back, 5'7", good deep speed. They have another a quarterback named Alonzo Barrett, who had an amazing game last year against North Carolina when JMU just beat the ever-living crap out of it. I think that was the game that pretty much got Mac Brown fired. Yeah.
All right.
Because they got embarrassed by JMU. And Amarion Hampton had like almost 150, 200 yards rushing. And that's like, well, he's our offense. So he's like breaking 80-yard runs and 50-yard runs, and it's not enough. It's like they just keep coming back. So JMU has some players. They have a defensive end named Shahir West who will not be at JMU next year. He's 6'4", 270, has 9 sacks, and he's a freshman. People are watching him this week to pay him a lot of money to transfer to their school. He will probably follow their coach, Bob Chesney, who just took the UCLA job. But, yeah, no chance, though. They do have some good defensive line depth. They have a great defense, but I just think that the offensive firepower that Oregon's going to show up with is just something that they've never seen before. Yeah. And that's it for these 4 games.
All right.
Yep. All right, real quick, let's go ahead and talk about some Cooper Flag last night. Well, not just last night, just this season. The Mavericks won last night, 116-114. Almost losing, giving up the 18-point lead, but Cooper Flag was impressive once again. 23 last night, and in his last 8 games, he's averaging 25.4 games, and the Mavs are 6-2 in those games. His Cooper Flag exceeded all your expectations.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know that I like him better than Luka, but yeah, he's been great.
Yeah, he's been great. 500 points before the age of 19. He turns 19 on Sunday.
That's so hard for me to
Cooper Flag,
about.
LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. That's the list.
That's a pretty good list.
That's the list. I just think that that's crazy to hear it and put in that. And then this is a guy who played a year of college, and so he's still that much younger, you know? So these guys, so I guess you could say it's more impressive they just came from high school to do it, but you still cannot be impressed by what you're seeing from Cooper Flag.
In general, man, I'm always impressed in general with pro athletes that are that young.
Yeah.
Strictly because I know what I was doing at their age and the way I thought about things.
It's like you more serious at 18 than I am right now.
That's what I mean. It's wild to me to think that at 18, how much pressure has to be on them, and to see them perform like that is super cool.
Did you hear, like, 4th of July last year, he showed up to the facility to work out, and nobody was there to let him in. And they told him to go home. It's 4th of July.
Wow.
He's like, Cooper Flag don't celebrate Flag Days. I'm Cooper Flag. Ain't nobody hanging with Mr. Cooper.
He's wearing a flag.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I think it's been extremely impressive what Flag's been doing. The 500-point club, as far as 18-year-olds go, is just phenomenal just to hear.
Yeah.
And it just and like I said, the one thing that I was shocked, I never thought the scoring would be there that quickly. You know, I thought we'd at least wait till his 19th birthday before we saw him take off like this. But man, Cooper Flag, he's just been impressive. You know, Anthony Davis, day-to-day Davis.
Yeah.
You know, he had 15 and 14 the other night, but Cade Cunningham was an assist short of a triple-double. The Mavs are 11 and 17 right now. And I'm just afraid that if they keep winning, then it's going to be, let's wait for Kyrie and see what happens. And I want the Mavericks to lose 5 straight games. Cooper Flag averaging 30 points.
I love it.
And Anthony Davis averaging 30 points, and nobody else doing anything.
So we can shop Anthony Davis
and then it's
right
like,
on
let's
out.
shop this man. I was hoping he'd jump on the plane with the Pistons last night. It's like leave Jared Ivey here. Like, come on, man. We got this deal on paper. But, you know, the expectations have been met, and I think that they've been raised, honestly. And I'm just... this guy could be one of the greatest small forwards we've ever seen play basketball.
Right.
You know, and I'll say small forward because these other guys that we've seen in the past, they're point forwards. Like a LeBron, he's a point forward. Like Luka's a point forward. But this guy's he's a small forward. Don't try and do too much, Jason Kidd. We saw it didn't work. Don't put him at point. But small forward, that's what he is. And I don't know, man. The main event, that's one of his nicknames. I like that one.
I do like that.
He's from Terrence Howard's favorite state, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. I'm Maine from Maine. Doing his thing, man. Okay, but shout out.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah,
man.
but yeah, but shout out to Cooper Flagg doing big things. But they play on Saturday night. They will be matched up against the Philadelphia 76ers at 6:00 tomorrow night. So if you want to watch this man, Cooper Flagg, play, tomorrow night's the night to do it. And but we need to lose games to trade AD because when we get into college basketball season, I'll start to tell you about the guys that we really need to be tanking for as far as this messy. But one draft at a time.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now another birthday. We were talking about Cooper's birthday on Sunday. Jake Ottinger celebrated his birthday last night. 27 years old. Celebrated with the win over the San Jose Sharks. It was like we said earlier. So Stars look good.
Yeah, they look
one of the best road teams in hockey. 12-2-4 on the road this year. They're 23-7-5, second in the Central behind the Avalanche, who are just on a tear. The way that
great this year.
McKinnon's playing out of his mind right now, and Cale Makar, is Cale Makar. He's honestly one of the best defensemen in hockey. Like he's pretty much a forward playing back there.
Yeah.
But as far as scoring defensemen go, one of the biggest scoring defensemen in all of hockey was traded last week to the Minnesota Wild. Like the day after they beat us?
I think so.
It's like
maybe 2 days.
It's maybe they hadn't played a game. They beat us and they was like, yeah, and we got better. So if you thought we were better than you when we played that game, we just upgraded our talent. So do you think the Stars need to make a reactionary move to the Quinn Hughes deal to Minnesota, or with the injury to Sagan, it was probably just understood that we were going to make a move eventually?
I was going to say, I think we do need to make a move. I don't want it to be in response to that. I just want them to make a move.
Yeah, like we don't need a big name because they got a big name. Is that what you mean?
And not just we got a knee jerk and like either overpay or give them too many years or whatever.
Yeah,
like really think this deal out because ultimately we're really, really good right now. And we've said it for the last 2 or 3 seasons. We're 1 or 2 little tweaks away. And it turns out what I think is going to be the tweaks is Sagan and Ben being gone.
Yeah.
But,
and the contracts being gone at least. Because
like
whenever we first started doing this podcast, 4 years ago, we talked about, man, it sucks for the Stars. They'll never win a cup with those 2 contracts. And, we were right.
Yeah,
but we didn't think it was going to look like this to where we would be this competitive. So if we've been this competitive this long with those 2 contracts on the books, now we have that money to play with Sagan. And, I don't want to wish this on anybody, but if Sagan were to retire in the offseason, then any move that we make, that's the Stars team moving forward in the future and being successful. And I'm all for it. And the guy's just had a lot of injuries.
For sure.
So where it's like, even though he's 34 years old, he's an old 34. We're talking about a hip injury, an ACL injury. Like he's had like 3 or 4 major injuries to where he missed almost the entire regular season last year. Like,
according to the injury reports, his lower body is trash.
Yeah. It's all lower body. All lower body injuries. Now, as far as to make a response, I'm with you. We don't need to take a big swing, but I think that a lot of little pieces could help us go a long way. And to me, Rasmus Andersson has been the name that's been floated around for the last few years. He only makes $4.5 million a year. He's about to be a free agent. So I just think that if you are to trade for a whole bunch of guys that are at the end of their contracts to where, all right, whoever plays well, we'll bring back, So I feel like Rasmus Andersson is the guy from Calgary. We've made deals with Calgary in the past to get Chris Tanev. Why not do it again? And it would make sense to do it. $4.5 million, not that big a deal. And it worked for us. We missed Tanev when he left.
Yeah, we
missed him a lot. Everybody loved him when he was here. Now, our buddy, Chuck Chapman, he's been chiming in quite a bit whenever we talk hockey, and he's been bringing up the name Kiefer Sherwood. Kiefer Sherwood is a guy tougher guy, late 20s, early 30s, undrafted free agent, but he's one of those tough guys. He's a mucker. Is that what they say? Muckers and rakers. He's one of those guys.
One of those dudes.
He's one of those guys, eh? But we all know what that's about. Like those guys be doing their thing up in Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, but I do think that from everything that I've heard, this is the type of player that we would really want on this team. He's he's a right shot forward. We did just lose Sagan, so that means as far as our top 6 players go offensively, we only have I think Wyatt's only right stick guy. So we need to mix it up a little bit. And I think to add Sherwood would make sense instead of bringing back a Marchment. Because Marchment makes 4.5, so he makes as much as Rasmus Anderson.
Okay.
So, which is not a ton of money, but I think that once you get halfway through a season, I think that I would have no problem with them bringing all three of these guys here. Because it costs, just under $11 million?
Sure.
We'd have moving pieces leaving here, so the money would end up working. And I think that Marchment's familiarity with this team, closeness with the team, I think it would do something for that locker room with as far as what happened last year as far as DeBoer went, to bring Marchment back. Because this was a money move while Marchment was gone. But if you brought him back, I know Ottinger would be happy.
Sure.
It's one of his best friends. And I just think that it would be... It's kind of like a player coming back from injury in season versus like making a trade,
right?
Because the familiarity is there. And and he's more chippy than tough. But I think that if you were to add that to a third line, especially where Jamie Benn is, and to get Sherwood, then we have that back in the day, the traditional like big hitting line. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's what we need in the playoffs. We need to make sure that we're 3 lines deep offensively. And we need to shore up that right stick defenseman, especially with Niels or with the way Niels Lundqvist has looked. He's looked fine, but we're missing Bishel. We're missing him a lot, and that's a lot of person to be missing. A 6'6" person just gone.
Well, and honestly, thinking about it, it's like I think the Cowboys and the Stars both. It's like he is, I think, more chippy than he is tough or aggressive, whatever you want to call it. And I think both the Cowboys and the Stars need more aggressive players.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, it's because we don't want Mikko Rantanen leading the team in penalty minutes.
No.
We need to take this toughness off his plate. But he's a hockey player, and he likes to mix it up.
And he does.
Yeah, but we need to get other guys who want to come and mix it up. And I know Marchment has no problem with it.
And
I know that
guys who want to mix it up, who aren't going to... Them being in the box isn't going to hurt us really badly.
And to me, whether it's Sherwood, if we get Sherwood, Marchment, and Ben, I think that would be a perfect third line to where y'all get all these minutes. Or y'all come in and retaliate in force. But we just need, DeBoer did call his team out. It's like they weren't built to respond back to Corey Perry beating up our rookie last year, They weren't built like that. He said that to y'all. He told y'all that. And, so let's bring some guys who are built like that.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's have some quick takes before we get up out of here, Patrick. All right. Quinn Ewers, South Lake Carroll's own, is going to be starting for the Miami Dolphins this weekend in place of Tua Tagovailoa, whose brain is scrambled eggs now. Nah, I'm sorry.
That's the brain scramblies.
Nah, but Tua hasn't looked good this year. Pretty much since Tyreek's been out, the interceptions have just been ridiculous. Now, your thoughts on Quinn Ewers taking over as a starting quarterback?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I actually do. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, ultimately I think I've watched like maybe 3 Dolphins games this season.
Yeah.
They don't look good.
Yeah.
They haven't been good. I don't think whether it's scramblies or not. I mean, he's not the Tua that he was. Yeah. Yeah, he's not who we thought he was. Exactly.
Yeah. Now, my thing is, this is really more to see, okay, I'm just more shocked. I'm like, wow, you jumped Zach Wilson. Because Zach Wilson's there. Because to me, y'all be doing the same dumb shit on the football field, making dumbass throws off your back foot, behind your back, like whatever, like and one football players. That's what y'all should be. Y'all should start y'all's own league, and one football. Y'all be.
I'd watch.
I know you would. I'd play the video game. But, I just think that I'm shocked that he was able to beat out Zach Wilson, but I think this is really more about, we all know who Zach Wilson is. He's cheap enough to where he'll be back next year. This is more like Quinn Ewers. Are you an NFL player or not? Because you could have a short leash and Zach Wilson could be in here and you could be cut this offseason. This is just to see if you're worth keeping. Seeing where we draft a quarterback next year.
Do you think they want to keep him, or do you think they want to shop him, maybe?
I don't think that he's worth shopping.
No.
If they now, if he has a good game, it could be like a Joe Milton thing to where he has a great last couple weeks of the season to where he ends up getting traded for an early third-day pick, because this isn't the strongest quarterback draft this year. And a lot of people said that if Quinn Ewers was to come back, he would end up being an early day 3 guy or possible second day guy. So It just depends on what you're willing to give up for him. But I think it's really because, all right, we have 2 quarterbacks for next year, and Tua is not one of them. And, you know, we might, and he's like, Zach Wilson will be here because he's dirt cheap. So we need to know if we have 2 or 1. And I think Quinn Ewers is having every opportunity to prove that he can be one of those 2 quarterbacks here next year. But regardless of how well he plays, well, actually, if he plays lights out, if he plays like to a Shador level, then maybe there could be a conversation to where we don't want to trade up to get a quarterback. But at the end of the day, Fernando Mendoza's from the city of Miami. Wouldn't it make sense for them to trade up and make sure they bring this kid home?
That'd be a really good story.
Be good. He'd cry like he did at the Heisman. Yeah.
God.
Hey, he cried.
Yeah, he did. That's factual.
It's an award. It's an award, man. It's all good for all that hard work.
Happy
tears. You know, he's Cuban. He's ethnic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ethnic. We emotional people, man. We emotional people.
Very emotional.
Very emotional, man. Okay, all right. Now, as far as the quarterback who was at Indiana before Mendoza, well, 2 years before, Brendan Sorsby. Brendan Sorsby this past college football season, in my personal opinion, as far as my draft grades go, he is the number 3 quarterback on my draft board. Number 3. Now, that's a first round, second round grade. That means I haven't given him a first round grade, but only so many. I think I only have
like
it's
15.
I think maybe like around 18 or 20 is how many people I have first round grades on this year. And he falls into that 19 to 25 range. You know, and now the thing is, if I tell you his pro comparison, he might jump up a lot of people's boards, but I'd say that he's kind of like a poor man's Josh Allen. I think he's a better runner. You know, maybe not as big an arm, but same, like maybe like he's 6'3", 6'4", 235 pounds, and has multiple 100-yard rushing games.
So he looks the part.
He looks the part. And that's the thing. He's the quarterback who looks the most like a quarterback in this draft.
Which is important.
It's important, you know. And now he's also in the transfer portal. So he's waiting for his draft grade to come back to figure out what he's going to do next year. Cam Ward did this before his season at Miami, and he ended up getting a 3rd-round grade. So he came back and turned himself into the number 1 overall pick. You know, so I could see it playing out the same way for Sorsby. Now, the thing with Sorsby, his girlfriend just transferred to Texas Tech, and she's a volleyball player at Cincinnati, transferred to Tech. So he's from Lake Dallas. Writing's on the wall. And now, like I said, he was previously at Indiana, but he left Indiana as soon as they fired the old coach. He didn't wait for Kurt Cignetti to take over. So
didn't Google him.
He didn't Google him.
It's a real problem.
Brandon Sorsby, use Google, and you would have been winning all these games in Indiana these last 2 years. But I think they fired the coach, and they didn't hire. He didn't wait for the entire window to play out. So maybe there's some regret. But I think there is something to be said with the familiarity of those players and those teammates. You have a lot of those guys there to where it might be a tougher decision than most people think, especially if since now, do you want to go to Texas Tech and do what Cliff Kingsbury and Patrick Mahomes never done and take them to a national championship? Because guess what? They ain't going to win it this year. I just think that their quarterback position is too iffy. And I'm a Bren Morton fan, but he's in and out of that lineup, and I just think they need a slightly better quarterback to do what they need to do. I think their running back group needs to have one more year of experience to possibly be the best running back room in the country. But the thing is like David Bailey's not coming back. Jacob Rodriguez isn't coming back. Romello Height isn't coming back. Like A.J. Holmes might come back, but Lee Hunter's not coming back. They're going to lose a lot of guys on that defense. So, but they have $50 million from that from the one big booster to where they can just spend however they want. So we'll see. But if I'm Brendan Sorsby, go get that money. Go get that money.
Definitely.
Now, here's the thing. Next year, guess what? Archman going to be the number 1 pick. His name Archman. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. All right? It's like, but you can be that QB too.
How bad would they have to be for him to drop?
Who?
Arch.
He showed enough this year. I think he showed enough at the end because it's he'd have to shrink 2 inches and change his name and disown his family.
I got you. Get a DNA transplant.
DNA.
That's Jurassic Park references. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Before we get out of here, Patrick, let's talk about one of your favorite Rangers of all time, El Bombi.
Do love me some Bombi.
El Bombi, Adolis García. Adolis García has officially gone to the Philadelphia Phillies for 1 year, $10 million. Do you have a favorite Adolis memory that you would like to tell us about?
That game against Houston during the
championship run?
Yeah, man.
That's unforgettable.
Dude, that was wild. Like sitting in a bar with people that were fans. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like I'm not comparing him to Reggie Jackson, but around here, we'll call him Mr. October.
Right.
He's our Mr. October.
Yeah.
And shout out to Adolis for doing what he did for us Rangers fans, because like I've said before, I'll say it again. It's like, if I die, it'll be with a smile on my face because I've seen all my teams win a championship.
Right.
You did that.
That's really cool.
You did that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Gracias, El Bombi.
See. I'm not El Bombi. Why'd I say that? All right, guys. Well, it's been a show. It's been a show. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you once again for joining me. I know we're trying to do a Thursday show, but, doctor said I need a backiotomy. So I had to get it figured out, and I broke out. And we here now.
Now we out here.
Now we out here. So, Patrick, man, I guess we'll try and do a show Monday, Tuesday, maybe?
Yeah.
We'll do something a little Christmassy, a little bit. Short week, so probably a short show. But this has been the Dallas Buyers Club. I'm your host, Jordan Amati. That was Patrick Gallagher.
What?
And we out. Stay fresh, cheese bags.